Hello everyone and welcome back to another video here on Sam's Crafty Castle, and today we are going to be playing with a older layering stamp set. So this layering stamp set is from, I believe, Stamptember 2023. It may be Stamptember 2022 even. I don't really remember when I got it, and if I was thinking ahead, I would have looked that up before I filmed this voiceover, but I didn't. So that's my best guess, is that it's 2022 or 2023, and only because I didn't get anything from Stamptember this year. So it's got to be one of those 2 years. But anyway, I've had it sitting in the bin of things that I need to use, and pulled it out as I was looking for inspiration of what I wanted to do, and I hadn't used it yet, and I thought it would be kind of fun to pull it out and use it. I am a big fan of Altenew layering roses specifically. I'm not a big flower girl usually, although as you've been watching over the years, I have branched out more into flowery things in my card making. But I'm not a flower person in real life. Like, I cannot identify most flowers for you. A lot of them look the same to me, but the two flowers that I do really enjoy are roses and daisies. So they're pretty easy for me to identify, and I have almost every, I shouldn't say that, I don't really know if this is true, but I have a lot of Altenew layering roses because I think they're really pretty and they're really fun, and I am not good at no line coloring, and layering stamps make me look like I'm good at it. So a lot of people will use layering stamps because they're not comfortable coloring. I'm very comfortable with coloring for the most part, but I'm not comfortable with no line coloring, really at all. I just need to practice it more, most likely. Like, I've been practicing my regular coloring, for lack of a better word, for years, and I tend to, like, not find no line coloring quite as fun, so I just tend to not do it as often. But layering stamps make me look like I know what I'm doing. For the most part. I have a few sometimes. This is the third take that you're watching of this video, because I had some trouble getting the stamp set lined up at first. So, like, yeah, there's some trial and error in figuring it out as you go, but they just come out so good. Like I said, I have several layering rose sets from Altenew, and, like, do I really need more than one? Probably not, but, like, I have several. Surprisingly though, I think I don't have any, like, layering daisy sets. Like, I'm sitting here trying to, like, figure out if I have any. I may have one from the ton, potentially, but now I'm thinking that I might need to go get one. It is Black Friday weekend next week is Black Friday weekend when I'm filming this and when you're watching this, because it's going up the same week I'm filming it. And so maybe I need to, like, look and see. And some places have already started their Black Friday sales, so maybe I should look and see if I can find one. It's a little treat to myself of something that I don't really need, but sometimes you gotta get fun things for yourself. Although, when you're watching this, it's the week that Gina K had her Black Friday sale and her new release, and I definitely got some stuff. So, yeah, maybe I already did the fun spending for this year. I don't know. I'll have to figure it out. We'll see what other sales pop up, I guess. That's the key. So now we're getting into the meat of the video, so I need to stop rambling and start actually talking about what's going on here. So this is the part where I can talk about my weirdness with the stamps. This is your reminder to condition your stamps before you use them the first time. I did not on this. I have like 3 or 4 different versions of that rose. Because I did not really work with the stamp set before I used it, and there's a lot of solid stamps in it because most layering stamps start with some kind of solid image, and it did not want to play nice. So by the time I got to, like, rose number 4, which was, like, I was stamping it 2 or 3 times every time, so I mean that was maybe like 12 stampings of it, of the base layer of the rose, I finally was starting to get something that looked nice. So I got smart with the leaves, and I stamped them out once first, before each step once, before I I started it. This one didn't seem to have as many issues as, not issues, they didn't seem to need as much prep as the rose did at first. And even this last one was a little splotchy, but thank you for the smoothing agent in Gina K's ink. The splotches all evened out, and you wouldn't even know. So that's that's the handy thing about her inks with solid stamps, is that they smooth out. So I wanted to do this as a 1 layer situation. The leaves were a little bit big, and I thought about hanging the leaves off the end, but then I kind of didn't want to do that. So I used the die cuts that I got, because I got this as a bundle, and cut a mask for this. Now, here's my little masking tip. I was lazy and didn't want to stamp my stamp and then cut the mask for it, so I just used the die and did it, or hand cut the mask for it. Generally, when you're masking an image like that, using the die is not always the best option, because your dies are usually going to have a little bit of a white edge to them, and your die cuts will have a little bit of a white edge to them. And then if you cut the mask that way, you get that white edge from the mask too, and things don't line up perfectly. And this is kind of when I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about not using the die to do that. So I was trying to line it up a little bit differently to hopefully minimize a little bit more of that overlap. And I'm going to show you how I fixed it though right here. So I just have these little brushes from Waffle Flower. I have a couple different sizes of them. I don't even know which ones I have anymore. I just started buying them at some point. And I just take the little brush and I just kind of right along the edge where I'm kind of missing some spots, I fill in the ink, and that works. Now luckily, these are leaves, so if there's little bits of color variation and stuff in them, it's okay, because they're leaves and they're not perfect. So if you need to justify it for yourself, that's how I justify it for myself on the days when I feel like I need to. So it's easy to fix though, if you do it with the die. But technically, when you're masking something, I should have just stamped even just the base layer of the rose and fussy cut that out so that it was right up along the edge, and then my masking would have come out a little bit better. But I also mess up the leaves. Have I messed them up yet? I'm going to mess them up in a minute. No, I messed them up on the next layer. I just must have got tired or something, or was just kind of starting to feel kind of done for the day. Because I totally misline up this last layer. It's not even close. But again, they're leaves, so they can be a little off, and it's okay. So, excuse me. If you're new to layering stamps, because they can be challenging to line up, I do recommend either Altenew, because they have a lot of, theirs come with really nice layering guides that really show you how to layer everything. Otherwise, actually, I don't know if this is still available, because I think I remember being upset last year because it retired. So I'm going to apologize right now if it's retired, but I'm going to tell you about it anyway. Gina K has a stamp set called Painted Autumn. That was my first layering set, and it was really nice because, ooh, look at the magic of peeling off the mask. The other thing, when I was getting ready to film this video and I was doing stuff, I was kind of itching to play with some masking magic, but I didn't know what to do. And then all of a sudden I realized I was going to mask this flower, and I was like, oh sweet, I get to play with the masking magic too I wanted to. And my other mask tip, quickly, before I go back to talking about the stamps that I don't even think you guys can get anymore, is save them. They'll last you for a little while. They won't last forever, but you can definitely get more than one use out of a mask. So I like to take mine and just stick them to my stamp set so that I know I have them. I still have a few from stamp sets I haven't used often, but I have from several years ago, I guess. I think it would have been 2020 when I made those. I just happened to be going through stuff the other day and found them and was like, oh yeah. So they do last a long time if you want to reuse them, and that's a very nice thing about them. If you're doing the masking magic strips or something, I maybe wouldn't reuse those, because I just feel like they're not as reusable, I guess, just by nature of what they are, but that's just me. But the ones I do for my stamps, I'll keep for a while until they either A, don't stick anymore, or B, get just so messed up and messy that it just makes more sense to make a new one. So I'm gonna, you know what, we're not gonna go back to my layering stamp story because this video is actually almost over. So, and you guys can't get that stamp set anyway. So we're just gonna finish it up. So I'm not usually a die cut stacker stacking type person, but this time I wanted the hello to be a little more dimensional, I guess. So I stacked 2 on top of each other just to make it stand out a little bit more. And then I had some foil paper, and there was one of the trials of the roses on the back. Because remember, paper has 2 sides. So I used both sides because the first one didn't come out. Or that was the second one. This is the third one. So the second one didn't come out. And I flipped it over and did it on the other side. And that one came out really well. And I just had some foil scraps. So I had used that. I have that purple paper that I love. I got it in like a variety pack at a scrapbook expo that was just like a clearance pack from a place, and I'm gonna be so sad when it's gone. But I also am determined to not be like the pretty paper like hoarder person who won't use them, because what's the point if I don't use it? So I'm trying to use it. And then as the last minute addition, I decided I needed a little something else, so I had these little gold stick-on jewels that I added. Just to add a little something. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment down below. And I'll see you again soon, and have a crafty day.